Right now, touch the phone in your hand, the table, or the mouse. It's solid, isn't it? Sturdy, real. So are you, but I'm going to tell you something. Please don't panic. I mean, you can panic just a little bit. You didn't touch any of them. Yes, you heard that right, because you're almost completely empty. 99.9999% of every atom that makes you up is pure nothingness. Did you know that if we subtracted all the empty space from humanity, 8 billion people would fit inside a single sugar cube? So you say, I'm here, I'm solid. But you're not really. And I promise, after this video, you'll never look at your own body the same way again. Okay, let's do something before we start. Don't lift that hand. Keep it there, on the table. Because I just said, you didn't touch it. I'll prove it to you. I promise. But to do that, we first have to shrink down really small. Then we have to grow really, really big. This story starts on your finger, but do you know where it ends? In the farthest corner of the universe. Anyway, I got ahead of myself. Let's start over. Look at your arm. There's the skin. It looks full, solid. Let's get a little closer. The first thing we see are cells. Do you know how many you have? 37 trillion. Trillion, mind you. So what you're calling me right now is actually trillions of tiny things piled on top of each other. There's no single you out there. It's literally a crowd. Anyway, let's get even closer. Inside the cell are molecules, and inside them are atoms. And this is exactly where things go haywire. Because an atom, it's the building block of everything. Your chair, the air, you. You think, this is the smallest, most solid part. That's how they draw it in school too. A sphere in the middle, with tiny spheres orbiting around it. Tight, dense, neat, and tidy. Nope, it's nothing like that. In fact, even the first guy to notice this couldn't believe it. About 100 years ago, there was a scientist named Rutherford. He fired tiny particles at a thin sheet of gold. What he expected was for them all to just zip right through it. Most of them did, but some bounced back. They came back as if they'd hit a wall. He was so surprised that later he said, "It was as if I'd thrown a huge ball at a handkerchief, and the ball came right back at me." Just think about it. You throw a ball at a handkerchief, and the ball comes right back at you. In that moment, he realizes it isn't filled with matter at all. It's almost completely empty, with just a tiny, insanely dense spot right in the middle. Picture this, a huge stadium, a massive, completely empty soccer stadium. An atom is that big. So where's that matter inside it? A single pea sitting right in the center of the field. Just a pea. A huge stadium with a single pea in the middle. The rest? Emptiness. Not even air. Nothingness. You're made of these empty stadiums. Trillions of them piled on top of each other, making you say, I. So, have you ever wondered, why don't you pass right through the table and fall to the floor? You're both completely empty, after all. Logically, you should pass right through each other, like ghosts. But you don't, because your electrons are repelling the table's electrons. Just like bringing the two negative poles of a magnet close together, they repel each other. That hardness you feel, that I touched it sensation, is actually two voids repelling each other without ever touching. They never actually touch. Not at all. And yes, here's what that means. Even when you hugged your mom, there was always that tiny little gap between you. Not a single atom ever touched another atom. Not even your first kiss. Well, I won't dwell on it. I don't want to bring you down. Jot this down somewhere, because the real story is just beginning. Do you know how empty you are? 99.9999%. That means only 1 in 10 million atoms is real. The rest is a vast nothingness. If we took all that emptiness out of you, your entire body would shrink to a speck of dust too small to see. All your memories, everyone you love, your whole life, all in a speck of dust. And it's not just you. Squeeze in all 8 billion people alive right now. What's the result? A sugar cube. Seriously, all of humanity, all the wars, all the loves, it all fits into a cube that would fit in your palm. Anyway, now look up, because this whole story doesn't end inside you. You're actually part of something much bigger. Let's look up. Look at the night sky. Stars, galaxies, it all looks so full, doesn't it? Sparkling. But that's the biggest lie the universe has ever fed you. Because the universe, too, is almost entirely empty. Think about it this way. If you wanted to travel from the sun to the nearest star, which is practically our neighbor right next door, you'd have to travel at the speed of light for a full 4 years. What's in between? Nothing. 4 years of pitch-black nothingness. And this is our neighbor after all. If the sun were the size of an orange, the nearest star would be another orange thousands of kilometers away. A vast void in between. Even the inside of our galaxy is almost completely empty. But wait, the really crazy part hasn't come yet. There are such huge voids between galaxies that scientists have even given them a name. Voids. In other words, giant bubbles of nothingness. And these aren't small things. If you tried to travel through the largest one at the speed of light, I'm talking about light that circles the Earth 7.5 times per second, it would take hundreds of millions of years to cross that void. There isn't a single star inside it. Not a single planet. Nothing. An endless, silent, pitch-black void. Stop for a second and picture this. Imagine you're right in the middle of that void. No matter which way you look, nothing. Up, down, left, right, it doesn't matter. Infinite darkness. It's so empty that if a civilization lived there, they wouldn't even see a single star in the sky. From the day they were born until the day they died, they'd believe there was nothing but emptiness above their heads. They'd live and die without even knowing the rest of the universe existed. Just think, an entire civilization believing, we're all alone, there's nothing out there. They'd even be considered right. That's exactly when you get that strange feeling in your stomach, isn't it? Because scientists have realized this. Most of the universe is actually like that. These voids aren't just odd corners or something. The universe is mostly made up of them. Stars, galaxies, planets, all that fullness you thought you saw are actually just a few drops of light floating in a vast sea of emptiness. That fullness you see when you look up at the night sky is a massive illusion. The real truth is the nothingness in between. Do you see it now? Rewind a bit and put these two things side by side. Your atom, a tiny nucleus in the center, surrounded by a vast void. The universe, tiny galaxies in between, vast voids in between them. It's the same thing, exactly the same picture, only the scale is different. That stadium-sized void inside you and that void in the universe, the small and large versions of the same pattern. It's as if the universe has repeated a single rule from start to finish. A little substance, a lot of void. From the smallest atom to the largest void. And you are right in the middle of that rule. So you're not something separate from the universe. You're literally a tiny model of the universe. A hollow being, floating in a hollow universe. The same nothingness, the same pattern, only the scale has changed. If you look inside an atom, it's as if you're looking at the universe. If you look at the universe, it's as if you're looking inside yourself. Now, right here, you might say, okay, but why should this make me feel good? You just said I'm practically non-existent, and on top of that, the universe is completely empty. That's really dark. You're right. There's a terrifying side to it, yes. You're made of nothingness. You've never even touched the one you love. Almost the entire universe is pitch-black emptiness, and you're just a tiny speck of dust in that void. It sounds like loneliness, like insignificance. But wait, flip the coin, because the truly beautiful part is right here. The universe is almost entirely empty. Millions of light years of silent, pitch-black nothingness. But in that vast void, in one corner, enough matter has gathered. Dust, gas, stardust. For billions of years, it's come together, and come together, and come together. And finally, it's created something. It's created you. Just think about it. An infinite, silent, completely empty universe. And right in the middle of that void, on this tiny blue dot, someone is sitting here watching this video, thinking, wondering, asking, who am I? That vast nothingness toiled for billions of years and finally created a fragment capable of looking at itself. And that fragment is you. Think about this. The universe is mostly empty. You're mostly empty, but that emptiness has somehow managed to become aware of itself. You are the place where the universe looks at itself. A tiny speck that can open its eyes within that vast, dark, silent void and say, I'm here. All those voids, that nothingness spanning millions of light years, none of them can do that, but you can. So yes, you're almost nothing. But that word almost, that's where the whole thing lies. That tiny 1 in 10 million real part has come together within the vast void and made you say, I. This isn't a mistake. It's the most beautiful thing the void has ever achieved. Remember this the next time you look at your hand. That hand is almost completely empty. If light passed through it, it would emerge on the other side without hitting almost anything. But that hand holds. It writes. It embraces. One void embraces another without ever touching, simply by pushing against each other. And we call this love. See, even the emptiest things can hold on to each other. Maybe being full never mattered at all. Maybe what matters is what you do within that emptiness. You are as empty as the emptiest corner of the universe. And at the same time, you are the only thinking part of that emptiness. Both are true at the very same moment. Go outside sometime tonight. Look up. Most of that darkness you see is empty. Nothingness stretching for light years. Then look at your hands. They're empty too. and realize that the emptiness above and the emptiness in your palm are the same thing. You belong there. You came from there. The next time you feel small, insignificant, empty, and you will, we all do, remember this: the universe is just like you, almost completely empty. But that emptiness woke up one day, opened its eyes, and began to look at itself. And that part that woke up? That's you. What do you think the next video should be? I'm waiting for your comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.